Namaste. A stress buster. That is our theme in this webinar. And we are going to take some tips from Kenopanishad, which is an Upanishad from Samaveda. Right at the outset, we may say that the ātmā, abiding in one's own true nature, the pure self, ātmā, is the highest and ultimate solution to stress. For let us be very clear about the fundamentals. Stress belongs to the mind, stress belongs to the body-mind complex, and the enlightened person stays not as the body, not as the mind, but as the pure self. Ātmā is staying firmly as the ātmā, the pure self, and the ātmā knows not any fear, any agitation, any negative emotion. However, on the level of sadhakas, contemplation upon the Vedantic truth can go a long way in reducing stress. In the Kenopanishad, there is the story of the gods at one time celebrating, being very happy, being in a mood of jubilation, and pretty soon the tables are turned and they are in much conflict, much embarrassment, much agitation. They go thus up and down. However, they are taught a lesson, they are spiritually instructed, they are given new education by the Supreme God. When we say gods, with a lowercase g, when we write that word, it is the devātas, it is those numerous souls who, upon gaining religious merit, become residents of heaven. When their punya is exhausted, these souls may go back to the earth and be born again as human beings or anything else. So these gods, devas, once gained a victory over demons, the asuras, and then they were seized with pride, with arrogance, with a sense of, we have won the war, the victory belongs to us, we are great folks, we have done great things, and whatnot. In order to teach them a lesson in humility and in order to bring to them some spiritual wisdom, the Supreme God comes down and appears before them as a huge, brilliant, blazing, radiant figure referred to in the Kenopanishad as a yaksha. The third section, the Tritiya Khanda of Kenopanishad, begins with this story. Brahma devebhyo vijigye, tasya brahmano vijaye, devā amaheeyanta, ta aikshanta, asmākam-evāyam vijayah, asmākam-evāyam mahima iti. Ours is this victory, ours is all the glory. So behind this ours, this expression, our glory, our greatness, there is the sense of I, me, and my. There is the sense of identification with the personality. And when Yaksha challenges them, and they could not even know who this Yaksha was, they get humbled. And the import of this story is, give up your pride, be humble, be an instrument in hands of God. Using the language of Bhakti Marga, we say, in submission to God, our stress goes away. That is how in the 11th chapter, Lord Krishna says to Arjuna, Nimitta matram bhava savyasachin. O Arjuna, be thou an instrument in my hands. It is I who actually am fighting the war. I shall kill the Kauravas. I shall ensure that your side wins. Leave it to me and be an instrument in my hands. Bhagavad Gita is replete with statements where this doership and enjoyership are negated. In a pair of verses in chapter 5, Sri Krishna says, the wise person, she or he, knows she is not doing anything. He is not doing anything at all, even as the eyes are seeing, ears are hearing, the tongue is tasting, the body may be walking, body may be sitting or standing or even sleeping, the eyes may be opening or closing. Pashyan, Shranvan, Sprashan, Jigran, Ashnan, Gachan, Swapan, Shwasan, Pralapan, Visrajan, Grinnan, Unmishan, Nimishan Napi, Naiva Kinchit Karomiti, Yukto Manyeta Tattvavit, Indriyani Indriyartheshu, Vartante Iti Dharayan. The two shlokas in chapter 5 point to this ātmanishta. So you and I as sadhakas may contemplate on this, and even in our worst times, we may take a minute off and remember that all this is going on the plane of the body and mind. We, in reality, are the witnessing consciousness. For that matter, coming back to the Kenopanishad itself says, all our strength comes from within. Ātmana vindate viryam, vidyaya vindate amritam. It is through vidya, the spiritual wisdom, that we may become amrita. We may even conquer death. Ātmana vindate viryam. Virya, all strength, comes from inside us. Now, in none of these teachings, it is implied that we sit quiet. All these teachings ask us to do our part, do our best, but overriding, putting in our best effort, overriding it, we need to have the understanding that God does everything. There is a popular old saying or expression for that matter, Harihi Karta, Harihi Bhokta. It is Hari, the Lord, who alone is doing everything, who alone is enjoying or apparently suffering. Where do we come into picture at all? That is how Shri Ramana Maharshi gave the illustration of a lady selling vegetables. Even though she was comfortably seated inside a running train, she would not keep the basket of vegetables down on the floor. When asked why, she said with a certain shyness, well, the train is bearing my weight. Let me bear the weight of the basket of vegetables. How foolish! Whether the basket is on your lap, on your head, or on the ground, the weight anyhow is borne by the train. God anyhow is doing everything, whether we own up a sense of doership or not. We may as well submit to God. We may as well realize, we may as well see from the point of view that God is doing everything. We are in His hands. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hriddeshe arjuna tishtati brahmayan sarva bhutani yantrarudani mayaya. As it is said in the 18th chapter, Lord Krishna says, God is in the heart of everyone, and He moves us like a puppeteer moves puppets. In the Ishavasya Upanishad, it is said, if we have an inkling of who we are, If we have an understanding of our true nature, we shall be far more efficient. We shall be realizing that we are way ahead of anything that body and mind can ever do. Anejadaikam manaso javiyo, manaso javiyah, faster than even the mind is the pure self. Anejadekam manaso javiyo, nainad devā apnuvan, Indriyas, eyes, ears, nose, etc. can never catch up with the pure self. Purva Marshat. This pure self goes first, goes ahead, and Tadhavataha Anyan Atyeti Sarvan. Even as all organs, faculties, like the sense organs, organs of action, mind, intellect, and others, even as they run, even as they go very fast, Atyeti, the pure self, overtakes them without moving at all. Tadhavatonyaan atyeti tishtat tasminnapo matarishva dadati. That is where the supreme power lays down results of actions. The supreme power operates from that core of the principle of Brahman or the Atman, and the Upanishads give us the message: know yourself, know your true nature, stay as that pure self. Thus, in the Upanishads, in the Gita, we have been told that stress is when we identify with the personality. In a manner of saying, more we identify with our personality, more is the movement of going up and coming down, more is the stress, more is the fear. Obviously, we are talking about self, talking about stress in this session, in the sense of that agitation, that negative emotion of fear. Oh, I may not be safe tomorrow. Today is okay. I may fail tomorrow, or I may not be able to do what I intend to do, what I want to accomplish. Thus, setting some goals and being anxious about whether we will fulfill or reach those goals is one form of stress. The vast amount of so-called personality development workshops talk about setting goals and running towards the fulfillment of those goals. A whole lot of techniques and methods are offered to be great achievers. With due respect to them, which all of them may do some good to us, we can never be truly at peace unless we gain spiritually. We have to grow spiritually. We have to do some lateral thinking. We have to do some out-of-the-box thinking. If we do not do out-of-box thinking, and if we simply are running in the rat race, as the saying goes, the winner also is a rat. Thus, the Vedanta offers a higher alternative to making our life meaningful, truly a joy indeed. So we come to the understanding of stress as something created by the mind and Vedantic message with associated practices. Especially as we are raw, we need various techniques and practices. As we become more mature, practices and techniques take a back seat. It is pure understanding only. In a statement issued recently by Sri Ravi Shankar, the founder and the head of Art of Living Foundation, it is said, I am quoting now, the central core of our existence is bliss, positivity, and joy. The negative ions are present only on the surface. With the help of meditation and breathing techniques, we can easily remove our negative emotions. End of quote. So Sri has this to say, that negative emotions are actually on the surface only. But since we remain at the surface most of the time, they appear to be very real. We need to go deeper. We need to go deeper into our own existence. Who are we? Who am I? We must inquire. Towards that, it is said, meditation and certain breathing techniques. Modern teachers, gurus like Sri Ravi Shankar or Sadguru Jaggi Vasudev have taught a number of breathing techniques, forms of pranayama to their followers, and no wonder large numbers, tens of thousands, if not more, of followers are very happy at the results that they are experiencing. Some forms of meditation are also taught. I would here say that Vedānta's contribution can be to make that very meditation deeper and more meaningful. The Vedantic contemplation, rooted in truth, rooted in fact, rooted in the revelation of the great rishis, can help us meditate with no artificiality. To imagine fire is one thing, and to actually sit by the fireside on a winter evening and to feel the heat of the fire is quite different. Vedanta is like the latter. Vedanta is not imagination. It is not a mere hallucination. It is not some kind of hypnotism. Most of you may know, somebody said to Swami Vivekananda in America, "Oh, all this Vedanta is very impressive. Isn't it a kind of hypnotism? You are hypnotizing us to believe we are the pure consciousness." Vivekananda's reply was wonderful. Vedanta is just the opposite. You are presently under the spell of hypnotism, imagining you are the body. Vedanta is here to dehypnotize you. In other words, Vedanta is rooted not in some imagination, but in fact. Be with the fact. Upanishads reveal the fact. The fact of your existence is you are the pure self. Be with it. Meditate on it, but let that meditation be preceded by proper study. Therefore, we don't call Vedanta Dhyana Yoga, though Dhyana is accommodated in it. Essentially, Vedanta is Jnana Yoga. Jnana, or as in North India they call Gyan. Gyan Yoga. Gyan or Jnana. So Jnana Yoga. Vedanta gives to us right knowledge, right seeing, samyak darshana. It is thus that the stress buster supplied by the Kenopanishad opens our eyes to there being no real stress. All stress is because of false attachments. You want to win, and behind your desire to win, there is your attachment to the self. I must be famous. What about others? Who cares? You are insensitive to others. You want to win. If others fail, for being politically correct, you will say, "Oh, I'm so sad he failed. I'm sad she fell." Deep inside you, do you really have any sadness? You are so concerned with you are winning, you are getting the profit, you are winning the trophy, and you bring it to spirituality also. I must realize this Brahman first. I must be the first one to realize Atman. Among all the students who started studying, though I joined a few days late, I want to overtake them. I want to first get various kinds of samadhi, whatever you fancy spiritual accomplishments, and there also you make it a competition. Behind competition, you create the competitor. To be a competitor is right away the antithesis of being the pure self. In the Gita, Lord Krishna talks about stress reduction using different words. Somewhere he would say ending of sorrow. Somewhere he would say attaining serenity, cheerfulness, prasadam adhigacchati. Somewhere else, in fact at many places, for stress reduction or stress elimination, he would use the word shanti. Shanti or parashanti is the word that he uses. For example, in chapter 2, just before he concludes, the last but one verse, Vihaya kaman yas sarvan pumanscharati nispraha nirmamo nirahankaraha sashantimadhigacchati. Nirmamaha nirahankaraha shantim adhigacchati. She attains true peace who gives up the idea of I, me, and my. I am this, I am bigger than her, I am greater than him, or other way around also. I am nowhere, I am lagging behind, I am no good. All these descriptions are ahankara. And mamakara is, this big house is mine, that book is written by me, she is my follower, that person listens to what I say. All these are forms of my house, my son, my daughter, my book, my follower, and my party, whatever. That is mama. Nirmamaha nirahankaraha saha shantim adhigacchati. If we give up, but how are we to give this up? How are we to be free of I, me, and my? As we said before, if you see the fact, what is non-fact will take to its heels. Our problem is we are not opening our eyes to the fact of life. The fact of life has no room for I, me, and my. But we are all the time watching something fanciful. Somebody watching a video game begins to identify with the characters of the video game more than the actual people standing or sitting around him. Such is our case too. We have fallen a prey to the game that our thoughts are playing, and in the medium of thoughts there are countless creations of high and low, success and failure, and we identify with them. The thought flow continuously pounds us, continuously tells us, look, she has won and you have not. And look here, you are way ahead of those three people. And look there, you are richer than X. And look here, you are nowhere compared with Y. So this is the noise of thoughts. No wonder if we are in the midst of all this noise of thoughts, we have so much stress. Stress will go away when we put thought to its right place, we put our mind to the back seat, and we stay with pure awareness. So how do we get rid of I, me, and my? Live in attention. Watch how the I, me, and my operate. Do not live mechanically, having no alertness. Live consciously, with alertness, with attention, being aware of what thought is proposing, what thought is spreading. Just to be aware just to notice will make thought behave. When thought behaves, and thought then shows to us what actually is and not something projected, something imagined, this mama and aham have to go away. Mama and aham, me, mine, I, etc., are nothing but some kind of residue of the past. The past that has not been properly digested comes to us as I, me, and mine. When we have digested all our life's experiences, when we have come to terms with what life has given us so far, we will be left with no I, me, and mine. We will functionally operate as a father or as a mother, as a senior officer or a junior officer, as a CEO or as a new entrant into the organization, whatever. Those functional descriptions have their own place, but we will not carry the burden of any egoism. No hurt, no shame, no regret, no fear, no anxiety. We will achieve economy of thought. We will look at things with such objectivity. This is the vision of the Vedanta. Kenopanishad, through the story of the devas, gods, who learnt a lesson from the Supreme Compassionate God, and Bhagavad Gita, saying to us that if we have no attachment, even if we are active, work will not bind us. And Shri Ramana Maharshi saying, it is God who is running the show 100%. Do not take to your heart all this failure or success. Live in submission to the Supreme Almighty. In this way, Upanishads, Gita, great masters, all of them guide us. If we sincerely reflect on these teachings, not just during a lecture, while giving a lecture or listening to a lecture, but through other times also of the day, we are sure to be free of stress. Stress will drastically reduce, if not disappear, from our life. Where there is no stress, there is true love, there is true inner peace. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. If there are some questions, please do ask. Okay. Right now I don't see any raised hand. I am looking up again in the table. Yes. I request Shri Manmohan Pejawar to ask his question.
Good morning, Swamiji. Thanks.
Namaste. Thank you.
Every time, sometimes you listen, you obtain a little bit newer insight. And just now what you said about having this observation, I mean, you in a meditative mind, you can see your own behavior or thought patterns and they disappear. And that's one of the benefits of meditation, because your mind gets less agitated. I never equated the two. Long time ago, I had heard, in this country, in my industrial engineering and other engineering fields, there is a study called Hawthorne studies. And this was in the 60s or 50s. And what they did was to just observe the people who are on manufacturing floors.
Yeah.
But not really did anything. They did not input any advice or criticism to the people, but they just observed them first. And to their amazement, the very fact that they were observing made the people automatically change their behavior to be more productive and more conscious.
How interesting.
Somehow, and it is a really famous study, has been known for the ages. They quoted Hawthorne studies. And all this time, I was equating meditation for simply getting more and more insight and more peace. But this takes me back to one of the earliest studies you gave when you taught meditation. You said, observe your thought patterns, and that's the same. And now I think it is one and the same. Basically, that meditation not only makes you aware all the time and keeps you in tune with yourself, but also whatever is happening at every second, you are now observing, and after a while it becomes a matter of habit. So that meditation carries on from that 10-minute or half an hour in the morning or in the evening for the rest of the day, almost automatically as you go along. I think that's a little bit of an insight that I had, and it is, all these things are known, but sometimes you think it is disparate thoughts, but it's all one and the same, and it's all useful in understanding. And thanks for the same. As they say, it never gets old. Every time you sit, it is always something new you discover. Thank you, Swamiji.
Welcome. Very good sharing. You have expressed it so well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's see who else. By now, one more hand might have come up. Parvati Raman has a question. Let me read that question. Swamiji, Hari Om, you have very beautifully explained how to get rid of our stress. We have to try with our full heart to follow your advice. Thank you very much. So this was not exactly a question, but it is an appreciation and a note of thanks. Welcome. Happy to know you liked the presentation. Thank you, Parvati ji. Now let us see. There seems to be no other question. If there is any question, please do raise your hand or write the text in the question box. Yeah. Ranjan Desai from San Jose. Yeah.
Namaste Swamiji. Again, thank you for your wonderful webinar once more. Just wanted to express my appreciation. Thank you again for expressing the way that you can remove the stress and all.
All right. Glad you liked it. Glad you found it useful and interesting. Let me once more see the list of participants here, whether a raised hand appears before any name. Not exactly. All right, so till we meet again next time, all the best wishes to everybody. Namaste. Good night or good day to you. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Hari Om.
Ram Swamiji.